Focus continues to be Kashmir, where misadventure of Pakistan-backed terrorists continues. In Uri, they have attempted a misadventure which has been duly, given an answer to by the Indian Army. In Anantnag, the operation continues, and that's the breaking news that we have for you right at the top of the show. This is the news that we are getting in. It's day 4 of the Anantnag encounter, and Northern Army Commander Lieutenant General Upendra Dwivedi has reached Kokernag encounter site. He reviewed the operational situation as far as the ongoing operation in Kokernag is concerned. He was briefed by the ground commanders on the high-intensity operation which is being carried out, the high-tech equipments which are being used for surveillance, and also delivery of firepower, along with high impact of precision fire being used by the forces. So the commanders there the local commanders have briefed what about the operation that is going on and about the situation on the ground. The Northern Army commander is at ground zero, so it's a huge morale booster for the forces as well. They have suffered casualties. 2 of the army officers have lost their lives, have attained martyrdom in this encounter, and also one Jammu and Kashmir DSP has also lost his life in this operation. So for the topmost army officer in Northern Command to be there on ground zero is definitely a huge morale booster, and he has been briefed about the high-tech surveillance equipments that are being used, the pictures of some of which are on your screen at the moment. And Ishan is in fact with me on the broadcast. Ishan, you have been tracking this for close to 72 hours now. The fact that the top officer from the Northern Army Command is there with his ground troops, what is the message that it is conveying?
Well, one is to boost the morale of forces who are on the ground and have been under difficult circumstances carrying out this operation. This will definitely boost the morale of forces because the top army command of the Northern Command coming down to Kokernag and then interacting with the forces who are part of this operation, getting to know from them the first-hand account of how the situation is and the difficulties they are facing and what really is transpiring with the particular operation. He has come through all the way from Udhampur and then come to Kokernag and then taken stock of the situation. Along with him was Rajiv Ghai, who is the GOC of the 15 Corps which operates in Kashmir Valley. Now, apart from that, we are also seeing that other top officials are there on the ground. As you mentioned, that there's a use of advanced equipments like quadcopters. Quadcopters are visible there in the picture, which is being deployed around the venue, around this particular area where this incident has taken place, to make sure that how they are doing it and what is the things that our forces have done till now is something which the corps commander has been briefed upon, and he has been informed about the presence of these militants in this area and how really this incident unfold while the army is 2 decorated officer and 1 deputy SP lost his life. This is something which will worry army, but they are right now focused on the operation and message of this is clear message that the top army commander coming here, taking stock of the situation, getting a first-hand account of how things are.
So is the army still confident that the terrorists responsible for Kokernag are still in that vicinity? Also, if you could fill us in about what happened in Uri.
Absolutely right. They are very clear that they are trapped, and police said 2 to 3 of them are still trapped in the area, and that's why having this confidence, they have gone all guns blazing on this particular spot where their hideout is. We have accessed multiple drone footages where clearly it is seen that a tarpaulin over which mud and then wood is kept just to avoid the gaze of security forces. But then this was identified by forces, and since then there has been continuous firing on that particular location where they are hiding. Yes, there's a precaution being maintained by the forces to avoid any more casualties, as this big operation hasn't been undertaken in a very long time, and after forces actually losing 2 officers and then 1 from the police also losing his life and 2 other army personnel getting injured is something which we haven't heard in a very long time in Kashmir region, and that's why it's worrying, and forces are trying to go easy about this operation and do it with as precision as possible.
Right. Ishan, do hold on. You've helped us understand about the ongoing operation, but a question that a lot of people are asking is that why is this happening on both sides of Pir Panjal, Anantnag and also Rajouri and Poonch? So let's explain to you the topography of Pir Panjal and why it is becoming a hotbed for terrorists there. The first reason, as analyzed by the security grid, the jungles here are interconnected and escape route is easy. So if you see the Pir Panjal range, it's one solid block of geographical feature, forested area, and the forests are interconnected, so they are able to cross from the Rajouri Punch side to the South Kashmir side. That's the first reason that the security grid analysis is. Second, creating blockades in terrains are difficult. So how have terrorists in the past been really tackled by the Indian Armed Forces? They have created blockades stopping them from moving ahead, but this is no longer urban warfare that we are talking about. This is guerrilla warfare that we are now looking at. This is jungle warfare that we are now looking at. So it is becoming increasingly difficult for them to create blockades in this heavily forested area. Third reason, choose to stay in natural hideout. Now this is a very important reason. Earlier, terrorists would stay in a village and local villagers would often tip off the armed forces. But now the terrorists are staying in local, caves in these heavily forested areas of Pir Panjal. And that is why also getting information about their whereabouts is getting extremely difficult for the security forces. So this is what army sources are telling CNN News 18. The reason it is getting difficult to track down these terrorists, these are three of the reasons. Ishan continues to be here with me. Ishan, this is a challenge, isn't it? This kind of jungle warfare that the terrorists have now started. When you're seeing the Kokernag operation, are you seeing a change in strategy of the Indian Armed Forces as well, as far as jungle warfare and guerrilla warfare is concerned?
Well, yes, when Poonch Rajouri got active and there were attacks on security forces, back then only they had discovered that these militant outfits are there, trying to destabilize that region by trying to mobilize these militants in the mountainous areas where natural caves are found, and they get automatic shelter. As you explained earlier, that why they are there, because they are out of gaze of common man, and that's why human intelligence generation is not there. But yes, now there are two incidents that have taken place in the mountains of Kashmir. One is in Kulgaon, where they were attacked, and then 3 army jawans lost their lives. That was an attack carried out on the security forces, of which actually a propaganda video was also released. This is the second incident in which now an area or a hideout has been found in jungles in Kashmir Valley, and this will prompt security forces to change their SOP and see that how really they go about these operations and how this synergy between the forces will now transpire. One must also understand here that this is something which the army is new to in Kashmir region, because we have been seeing an urban warfare kind of a situation where forces engage militants in a house-to-house combat and from one location to one location while cornering them. But this is a vast jungle. There is difficult terrain. There are mountains and passes. So that is where the new challenge lies, and forces will try to regroup and reassess their strategy now.
Right, Ishan, thank you so much. Ishan Vani there reporting from ground zero in Kokernag. Ishan and your team, please stay safe. The operation is still ongoing. Meanwhile, our colleague Sajid Peer is also there at ground zero. He sent us this ground report about what is the situation as the operation continues.
गांव हथलंगा गांव नाम है इसका, और हथलंगा गांव में एलओसी के ऊपर है बिल्कुल ये हथलंगा गांव। फौज और पुलिस की एक जॉइंट ऑपरेशन था ये, और जब फौज को यहाँ पे कोई सस्पिशियस मोमेंट लगी तो उन्होंने यहाँ फायर कर दिया, और फायर का तबादला भी हुआ थोड़ी देर में। और आज सुबह जो है 2 मिलिटेंट जो है मार गिराए गए हैं इस इलाके में, और पूरे इलाके को सैनिटाइज किया जा रहा है। एडिशनल ट्रूप्स वहाँ पे रवाना की गई हैं, और ये इस बात को देखा जा रहा है कि आया ये 2 मिलिटेंट थे या इससे कुछ ज़्यादा थे इस ग्रुप में जो इसमें ये कर रहे थे, दरअंदाजी की कोशिश कर रहे थे। और मैं आपको बता दूं कि अभी तक इनकी शिनाख्त नहीं हो पाई है, क्योंकि ये बॉर्डर का इलाका है, बिल्कुल जीरो लाइन के ऊपर है ये हथलंगा का इलाका। तो यहाँ से अभी जो है कोई डेड बॉडी तो देखी जा रही है दूर से, लेकिन इस बात का भी देखा जा रहा है कि कोई और मिलिटेंट इस इलाके में, इस ग्रुप में शामिल तो नहीं था जिसने दरअंदाजी की है इस इलाके में। और मैं अभी की इतलात के मुताबिक इस पूरे इलाके को सैनिटाइज किया जा रहा है, इस इलाके की चेकिंग की जा रही है। पहाड़ी इलाका है, जंगलाती इलाका है, और इसको पूरी तरह से सैनिटाइज किया जा रहा है।